Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. Am I heard properly? Can you hear me? Is my voice clear, ma'am?
Sapna, can you increase your volume little?
Uh,
I'll try from my side also. I hope you can hear from my side. Yes. Now speak something.
Ma'am, can you
Yes.
hear me? Good afternoon.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Now tell them they will go live and then we will start.
Okay. Ma'am, इधर click. Stop. Like this, no? When okay, okay. Afternoon, ma'am. Okay, so I think all set to go, and let's see how many of them have joined. I think we are waiting for them to join yet.
Now, because to me it is not showing that we are live.
Okay, ma'am. I will.
Restart किया है. Sapna, it is 9 minutes. I think we can start now and it is. You can put your camera on. Good
Yes.
afternoon to all the students who are the participants of this session. As you all know, Bombay Teachers Training College, in collaboration with GHG Khalsa College, has taken this initiative for preparing our students for UGC Net preparation. We at Bombay Teachers Training College, the faculty of BTTC, we are preparing our students for UGC Net preparation in the subject of education. So I repeat once again, some of the sessions will be specifically for education, but in general, we are preparing our students for paper 1. So today's session will be taken by Ms. Sapna Chabdia. I introduce her once again. She is a NET qualified teacher at Bombay Teachers Training College. Ms. Sapna Chabdia, alumna representative of BTTC, is going to take today's session. So once again, welcoming you all for this endeavor. I congratulate faculty of BTTC and GHG who all are taking the courage and initiative for UGC Net preparation sessions under Alumni Association, Equal Opportunity, and in collaboration with GHG Khalsa College. I hand over today's session to Ms. Sapna Chabadia. Ms. Sapna, over to you.
Thank you very much and a very good afternoon to Dr. Mandeep ma'am and all the participants here. And thank you. I will begin the session right away. I need to share my screen. So, yeah. All right. Please let me know if you can see the screen. I'll begin to share it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much. So I keep on adding to the slides. So today's session begins with this one. Okay. All right. So once again, a warm welcome to all. And today, as I said in my message on the WhatsApp, that today's questions will be based on paper one, which is a common paper for all. And particularly, I have taken these questions from the logical and the mathematical sections. So let us start with this question. And I am purposely keeping the slideshow in the design mode. The reason is that in case if I have to, on the spot, do some kind of marking, etc., I can. Okay, so that's the reason my slides are in the design mode. All right, now let us all together read what's going on. Yeah, looks, this is like a Venn diagram. This is a Venn diagram. Given below is a diagram of three circles, A, B, and C. Yes, quickly. They are related with each other. Yes. The circle A, Indians, B is scientists, and C is politicians. So you got an idea. PQR, yeah, those are those, the regions which are common, like the intersection. PQR and S represent different regions. Select the code containing the region that indicates the class of Indian scientists who are not politicians. So, A, Indian, B, scientist, and C, and circle, okay, and circle C. So sorry, I'm miswriting this over here. Represents the class of politicians. That's how it is. Now, what they want us to find that region, which is class of Indians. Now, class of Indians A. So I need to look at A. Okay, that's where it is. Indian scientist. Now, who was scientist? B. So I can take A. I need to consider A, and I need to consider the part B also. But I surely want to not consider any element of this thing. C. So now if you look at PQRS, the P, the Q, the R has elements of C, which is politicians. Now we don't want any bit of that. We only want that which is Indians and which is scientists. Okay, so Indian and scientists. So if you look at this, only the S region is the one which has elements of A and elements of B, nothing of C. So S is the right answer. So these are, there'll be questions, likely to be questions on Venn diagrams. The more you practice, the better it will be. So here the answer is S. And that's how it is. So, questions like these, you have to quickly read them and get the meaning. So it's about like three categories, and then they want a combination of two of them. So if you're okay with this, may I move on to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So let's look at the next question, which is also on the Venn diagram. And let's say how it works. So, yeah, can you read and can we? So again, A, B, and C. So you see the words they've been using is interrelated, overlapping. That's fine. Yes, we know the Venn diagrams are about that. A represents honest, B represents sincere, C, because you have to look for the keywords. Even reading takes 1 or 2 seconds extra. So read only that is what is important. B is a class sincere, and the circle, I think I missed that again over here. So let me add it. And the circle C represents the class of politicians. Okay, so A, B, C like that. Sincere, honest. So do not get confused with these words. This, according to this diagram, they are like, they are different categories based on sincere and honest. Yes, and then PQRS, UXY, a little complicated than the previous one. They represent the different regions. Fine. But I shouldn't really understand what R, P, S, Q, X, U, V, whatever is at this stage. I just need to know what it is about and then see what the question is. And only let's look for what is asked rather than understanding what R, what small p, what small s, and all that is. Select the code. Now, code means that option. Okay. Select the code that represents the region indicating class of honest politicians. You see, the circle A. The circle A, honest, B, sincere, and C, politicians. So we want honest politicians. We want politicians, okay? So now which circle is representing that? C. So C, I need to begin with C, and now honest. So honest was A, honest. So I need C, I need A, okay? But they have not mentioned about the sincere. So in other words, they only want what is, in the intersection of honest and politicians. Okay. So if you look at this, C is politicians, A is honest. So if I look at, now I don't want all politicians. I want the one which are honest. But I surely don't want whatever is covered under sincere, that is a B. So if you look at this little region represented by the small letter S, that is the one which is which is the intersection only between A and C. So in other words, I want only the common region of A and C, nothing more, nothing less. And that happens to be S. So D is the correct answer. May I move on to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so all right. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. Now I will request you all to not look at what the table that is shown under the heading working notes. This is not the part of the question. The question is only what is highlighted in the very light green color, okay, or olive color. Okay, so now a question like this, if you try to understand word by word, it's going to be taking you forever to answer. And I said you just get 1 minute, and it should be our effort to take much less than that also, because there will be some questions which I shall do in my next session based on data interpretation, which will take longer because it's like a huge table and then too many figures and numbers in that, and you've got to comprehend them, and then a lot of math also goes into it. So those are going to take time. Hence, we need to try to economize in other questions, but still, derive the right answer. Okay, now look at this. Read the question, and we don't have to understand, oh, what is Namita, Samita. Namita and Samita, brilliant studious. Anita and Karabi are obedient and irregular. Babita and Namita, irregular, brilliant. Samita, Kabita. Now, first of all, look at the names Namita, Sabita, Karabi, Kabita, Babita. So, Anita. So, can get a little confusing. Never mind. Who among them is or are, because there could be two people showing the same, having the same features or traits. Brilliant, obedient, regular, and studious. Never mind. Just take the paper, just take the pen, okay, and start making the table. I have put the names of the students in the vertical order and the attributes in the horizontal order. You can do it the other way also. What my thing is, like, I tell you what exactly I thought was, helping me find the right answer, and in the very short period of time was start with what the question starts with, and I'm more like start writing in a vertical way. But I think this is something which is very individualistic, so you can see what suits you. Either ways, you can, because this is a two-dimensional thing. So I said, okay, Namita and Samita are brilliant and studious. There I go. Now write Namita. Now here what you see is a whole table. But to begin with, it does, I don't really, I didn't bother to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, 4 rows, whatever. I didn't do all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't even care to see how many students are there. I said I will develop a table as in how, as in where, what you can say, as I read the question. I think that should be the right thing. Okay. Now, I said, okay, never mind. What they're saying in the first line is Namita and Samita, brilliant and studious. There I go. I wrote Namita, Samita, brilliant studious, and I put a mark for them. Okay. Now I was using the keyboard, so I think this came as a easy mark. But there you are not going to use all that. You are going to have paper and pencil. So whatever, you put a tick mark, you put a cross, whatever suits you. And then I put two things over here. Namita, Samita, brilliant and studious. See, this is how I've written these as in when they appear. Anita and Karabi, well, two more students, Anita Karabi, okay? Obedient and irregular. Now another two attributes, obedient, irregular. Fine, go ahead with that, okay? So you see, I did Anita Karabi, obedient and irregular, obedient and irregular. And then Babita and Namita. Now watch. Babita is a new name, but Namita is already existing. Okay, so write one more name. Don't write Namita again, because that's where things will start to, that's where things will become confusing for you. Recall, because then Namita is already there, and here we don't have Namita too, right? So I wrote Babita, and what is it? Babita and Namita are irregular and brilliant. Well, brilliant was already covered. For Namita, brilliant has already been marked. So let me go ahead and mark what is new for Namita now, that is irregular, because in the first one they are brilliant and studious. So for Namita I marked irregular, and for Babita I marked brilliant as well as irregular. So you see, here what you need is absolute presence of mind, absolute be with the question. And then one more sentence is there, Samita and Kabita. Okay, now Samita is already there, so don't create one more Samita. Kabita, yes, I need to create regular and obedient. Well, now all the four attributes were earlier spoken of, but regular has come in just now. So let me create one more, regular. So I marked obedient and regular for her, and well, Samita was there, and Samita needs to get one regular mark. Okay, there I go. I finished all that. Now, do not see, this is not statistics where you'll count the number of marks with that. No, because the question appears in the form of sentences. Okay, so I think do not, maybe if you want, if you think you're comfortable with the time, counter check one more time. But I feel in exams like these, the first time you do something, do it with full attention, so that the question of again once again checking does not arise. And like in the statistics, if you recall the telemarks questions answers that we did in our 10th standard or something, we went back to the SAM and one more time. But those are different exams, you get marks for your working notes and all. But here, this is what I have created, my way of getting the right answer. Here nobody is watching that, so you need a right answer. Now the question is, who among them is or are, because you see in the options, in the three options there are single names, and in one option there are two names, because it could be like two of them show equal number of traits, right? Who among them is or are? Now they have not asked for more or anything specifically. They want us to identify that student or those students who show brilliant, obedient, regular, and studious. So I think brilliant. So the best part is four of them. So once you do this kind of a table, and go ahead and actually draw rows and columns, because sometimes if you have not aligned it properly, you put a mark for someone and it looks for someone. Whereas if you actually draw the columns and the rows, then even if it is not aligned and all, you exactly know that that particular box is for that person. So Samita shows everything that is brilliant, all the features, brilliant, brilliant is there, obedient is there, regular is there, as well as studious is there. Go for it. Okay, so and we also have the option Samita. So sessions like these are about as I said, the various techniques. Maybe you can devise one more way or other ways also of getting to the right answer. But as I said, what is also important is time. Now, when you keep practicing sums like these, and when you come across a question of this type, you exactly know where to begin. Because if I kept reading Namita and Samita brilliant, and again write Namita and Samita brilliant, you'll not get. It's all about, like, look at the options. The options are like who among. So you want to select that one or two. So the best one is that each one needs to be expressed. Okay, for each one, I need an account. I need to know what all features are there. Okay, so if it is okay by you, may I go on to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now some little simple questions here. Again, they come from the logic section. Okay, so look at this one. Warrior is related to sword, carpenter to saw, farmer to plow, and same way author is related to. Now you may say this is such a simple question, but I'll tell you what, when you look at book, and you're always trying to save time while you're taking this exam, so you may want to say book because it's related. But no, we want to have the same relationship as is given in the examples. Okay, that kind of relation. So warrior, sword is used by warrior, saw is used by carpenter, plow is used by farmer. Book is not used by author. Fame is not used. Reader is not used. So what is the right answer? It may not look like right at the right away, but the right answer is 10. Option D. So when they give you examples like that, they want you to understand the relationship between the two things that are mentioned, and they've given enough examples, three of them. So very easily, one can say, oh, book, author and book, they're like the inseparable things. Yes, it's related, but not for not for a question like this. Okay. So the correct answer is because author uses the pen to write his works. Next question. If there are any queries, you have my permission to kind of, just unmute yourself and say, ma'am, and then say whatever you want to ask me. The next question is, if we want to seek new knowledge of facts about the world, we must rely on the reason of the type. Okay, so now whenever there's something like facts, now facts are something which is not subjective. They're objective in nature. They're there. They exist. And the best approach, therefore, is always inductive. Okay, based on the facts have to be proven, facts have to be understood, observed, etc. So the approach is inductive. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. Now, once again, this is from the logic section. Okay. I want you all to look at this, and this one is like, it needs to be a small I. Okay, that's it. Okay. Among the following statements, two are contradictory to each other. Select the correct code that represents them. So you will find codes are the options. Okay, remember that codes are the options here. So either A, B, or C, or one of them is correct. And they want us to pick up those two statements that are contradicting each other, contradictory to each other, or contradicting each other. All poets are philosophers. Now, here, and please understand this, that they're given statements. You don't try to see what is true, what is false. Look at the nature of the questions. They're given statements. You don't have to say what is right, wrong, true, false, nothing. We've got to just find that pair which is exactly contradicting each other. Let's see. All poets are philosophers. Some poets are philosopher. Some poets are not philosophers. No philosopher is a poet. Now, I shouldn't on my own say, okay, let's see what is 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 1 and 4. No, look at the options, because we got to say, we don't have a choice to give our option, right? I need to select one of these because one of this is the right answer. Let's see what happens between 1 and 2, and let me figure out if they are really contradicting. Now, a question like this is likely to take a little more time. all poets are philosophers. Some poets, obviously, they are, you think they are kind of contradicting each other? They are not opposites of each other. Okay. So all poets are all poets are philosophers. Some poets are philosophers, not much. 1 and 4 is all poets are philosophers. No philosopher is a poet. I don't know. 1 and 3, all poets are philosophers. Some poets are not philosophers. So maybe this looks, because they're saying all poets are philosophers. And so saying that, see, when you say all poets are philosophers, obviously some poets are philosophers. So 1 and 2 are not contradicting each other. The second option, all poets are philosophers. No philosopher is a poet. Okay, not much. But if you look at this, some poets are not philosophers. So this looks like the right answer. And 2 and 3, some poets are philosophers, some poets are not philosophers. They are not contradicting each other. So I would say questions like these in the real time, in 1 minute, it will be little difficult. As I said, it's a new question for you altogether. Okay, so it will be little difficult to maybe grasp, maybe easy. I'm not sure about that, but you can practice these questions on your own, and they may look confusing, but once you develop the technique to understand what what is asked, it will be easier for you. So the option C, that is all poets are philosopher, but some poets are not philosopher, that is exactly contradicting, because see, you see, all poets are philosophers, some poets are not philosophers. So this is standing in the total contradiction too. Whereas all poets are philosophers, some poets are philosophers. It's like, the second sentence, second option seems to be a subset of the option number 1. Then all poets are philosophers. No philosopher is a poet. Well, it looks like a thing, but the combination of 1 and 3 looks like a better fit. Okay. Now look at this. Another question that's totally based on the logical reasoning section. Now, which of the following statements is correct? You're given 2 statements, and with some kind of, it looks like they're expressing some kind of relation between the 2 elements within a sentence. If A speed is more than B speed, then, and they want it to be correct, okay? So let's say if this sentence by itself makes sense. A sentence, as in it's a complete, nice, grammatically correct sentence, but in the logical way, does it make sense? If A's speed is more than B's speed, then to travel the same distance, okay, A is more than B, A will take more time than B. So at the outset, it is wrong. You'll take just 2 to 3 seconds, because when you read on your own, it is very, very less time consuming. So A, strike it out. You write question number 7, A, B, C, D. A is gone, because what the question asks is that sentence which is correct. Now, second one is 2 speeds. One is 1500 miles per minute and 90 kilometer per hour are equal. Now, you see, you don't try to now convert miles into kilometers or kilometers into miles, minutes into hours and hours into minutes. Don't get there. Don't do that. The reason is because, that's not the question. Look at it, 1500 miles per minute is like huge. And 90 anyways, the kilometer and miles, we know that they are not like grams and kilograms difference. There's little difference, right? It's just that in some countries they still use the word they believe in the measure miles, not use a word, they believe in the measure miles and kilometers, but we know that there's not a very big difference. So obviously one speed is really high. I'm going to say are equal. So they say, okay, is 1500 minutes per miles per minute and 90 kilometer per hour. Obviously, they are not equal. There is a big difference. Now you see, look at the third one. By walking at a speed of 18 kilometer per hour, the distance covered in 2 minutes and 30 seconds is 750 meters. Now, once again, do not calculate to see if it is 750 meters. Because you see, the question says which of the following statements is correct. In other words, one of these statements is surely correct. So, if I can prove with 100% certainty and confidence that two statements are incorrect, the rest, the remaining has to be correct because there are only three sentences or statements, A, B, and C. And A and B are very, very obviously incorrect. So don't even sit and calculate whether C is correct or no, that when you walk at the speed of 18 kilometer per hour and the distance covered in 2 minutes and 30 seconds is going to be 750 meters. I mean to say, there'll be a lot of calculation. You'll be like spending 10 times and get the answer as 750 and say, yeah, why do I have to do that when A and B at the outset can be can be absolute with a full confidence said that they're incorrect. Okay, so this is the technique, this is the trick, and this is the logical thing. But A and B have proven to be incorrect, C has to be correct because the question doesn't have any fourth statement. So you will go with your option D, that is C only. C has to be the correct. Any questions here? Any questions, student?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. Are you following? Because I try to bring in the different types of questions, and hence, when there will be a question of this type, you feel that calculation is the only way to get there. But look at the what is asked and look at the options, and then now here by chance A is incorrect, B is incorrect. But what if this particular, the one which is written as C is in A. Okay, so that will make it a little more difficult. This looks a little simpler because in order you get two incorrect statements, so go with the third one. But what if A was the correct one? I'm to say if whatever content you see written in C was written for A. Okay, so yeah, let me just change the order. Say by walking at a speed, this particular thing was written as A, and then B and C were those incorrect ones. Yet do not try to solve and get the answer 750. If this was expressed as statement A, the C one, which is the correct one, I would still say that read the other two. If they can be filtered out with confidence, what remains is the correct. Are you getting my point here?
Yes, ma'am.
Still don't.
But
Yeah.
sorry. So what do we exactly look at when such a question comes?
Say again, what is your question? And say a little at a slower speed. Yes. What's your
Yeah.
question here? Yeah.
No. I wanted to ask, ma'am, how do we immediately get as to what would be the answer? We'll have to still look at it. We hardly have like 1 or 2 seconds, I
Yes.
guess.
Obviously, see, you are, if you look at the average time per question is 1 minute, right? I'm
Yes.
not saying just being rushed to do it in 2, 3 seconds. But
Okay.
what I'm saying is, I'm not seeing when I say, oh, try, this will consume 10 seconds or 20 seconds. My thing is to just tell you, and of course, don't be under that pressure. Take the time because some questions will need more time, but don't be in so much rush thinking that this is one of the simple questions. No, yeah, and once again, when you practice and you practice with a time, you will figure out how much time you're taking. Now of course, per question you can't set the stopwatch and or the timer. Don't do that, you'll be using a lot of time in that. But overall, say you did 50 questions, and then when you do 50 questions and you time yourself, you exactly know which questions took away a lot of time and which questions. So you need to have that rough estimate that, oh, this one I could do in 20 seconds. That doesn't mean that stop 20 seconds, you need to get some answer. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, because as I'm looking at this sum in this session, this point came to my mind that what if the option C was the option A? I'm to say, any examinee would be like, would think that, okay, now this needs calculation. I need to determine if the speed 18 kilometer per hour. So you want to bring in the maths. But I'm saying is that, where, look at the other two options. If they can be filtered out, then this obviously stays, and hence you will save time in calculating. Now this calculation is going to take a lot of time, because you're just left with a paper and pencil. You see, it's going to really take a lot of time, because it's like seconds, minutes, kilometer, hour, meters. There's so many different measures also. It's not like straight only minutes. Okay, there are minutes and there are seconds, so you have to convert seconds to minutes or minutes to seconds, correct?
Yes.
Kilometers and then meters. So save yourself that trouble and try to look at all the options. This kind of question is easy, because first two didn't involve any big calculation. It was more mental, little mental mathematics you have to apply. But if this, like if C was the option A, if this content was in option A, there would be that thing of beginning to calculate. But look at the other two options, and I'm sure you will figure out as you solve more sums. May I move on to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so this involves that. Now this has two questions in it, and I have not brought any working notes, but let us, because this was a very small sequence. So question number 8 says the numbers are 6, next is 4, then 2.5, and then 1.5. Okay, and what number comes next in the sequence? Well, first of all, as the numbers are given, don't change the order, and see if there is some very, obvious direct kind of a relationship. Well, I get 4 from 6 when I go to less. So 6 minus 2 is 4. And then, so 2 is making, the number 2 is making the difference here. And from 4, I get 2.5 when I deduct 1.5. Okay, and what is the relationship between the 2 and 1.5? That it is 0.5 less. And from, so 2 minus 0.5 is 1.5. And the difference between 4 and 2.5 is 1.5. And the next number they have in the sequence is 1.5. Okay, so so from 1.5, if I deduct 0.5, and that is the difference between 2.5 and 1.5. So what is happening here is, 6 from 6 you got 4 because you deducted 2, but then it says 4. Yeah, so 2, it started with 2, and we saw that in every step 0.5 is deducted from there. Can you develop sense here? Or maybe I can make them a little bigger. They look like they are okay, let me make it really big. So you see, these are the numbers, or let me place them a little apart, though in the examination you won't have the pleasure of doing all this. Okay. Okay, so these are the numbers, and they want the answer as to what comes here. So I got 4 from 6 by deducting 2. So it's like 6 minus 2 is 4. And if you see, how does one get 2.5 from 4 when you deduct 1.5? Now, what is happening to that 2, which was the initial difference between the two numbers? It went 0.5 less. Then 2.5, okay, so from 2, the difference became 1.5. Okay, from here it became 1, and then from here it should be 0.5 less. So the correct answer is the option C, that is 1. Very, very simple sum. It's a very, what you can say, very easy kind of a pattern that they have given in the question. And yeah, tell me if it is okay.
Ma'am, can you explain again? I didn't understand.
Okay.
Why?
Okay,
So
I'll
what?
tell you what. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. Let me do it. Let me do it in the real time. Okay. I'm using this space just to show the working notes. Okay. So you see 6 minus 4 is equal to, oh sorry, 6. Oh, one sec. Okay. Okay, so it's like, don't alter the sequence. Our numbers in sequence are 6, 4, 2.5, 1.5, and they want us to write what would be the next number. And we need to see the relationship. And the relationship, don't try to see the relationship between 6 and 1.5. Try to see the relationship in the order. So, simple question, how does one get 4 from 6? When I do 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. Is this correct? Tell me.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, it's a simple maths.
Yes.
So, now from 6 I got 4 because I deducted 2. Now, let me just express their thing. From 4, how enough the third number is 2.5 and we know for sure that 2.5 is less than 4. So obviously something needs to be deducted from 4, okay, in order to get 2.5. And do the oral calculation. I need to deduct 1.5, okay, from 4 in order to get 2.5. So you see, we started with 6. The next number is 4. I deducted 2. I got 4. Then from 4, how did I get 2.5 when I deducted 1.5? Right? And now from 2.5, how does one get 1.5 when you deduct 1? I can write 1.0 if you want. Okay? So you get 1.5. Right? We started with 6. How did we get 4? The next number, minus 2. From 4, how did we get 2.5? Minus 1.5. From 2.5, how did I get 1.5? Minus 1. Now let us see what is happening to these. Like, can I see a relationship in these three? 2 becomes 1.5, 1.5 becomes 1. That means at every stage, there is a deduction of 0.5. So after 1.5, what should be the number? It should be 1.5 minus 0.5. And when you do that, you get 1. So the correct answer is 1, the option C.
Yeah. Got it.
Got it? Yes. Okay, thank you. Now, read the question number 9.
हेलो खाना खाया वहीं का खाया है 6 माले पे
All right. Hope you all have read the question. Excuse me. 1, 3, 6, 10. What is the next term? Now, what relationship can one develop here?
Ma'am, the difference is 2.
Yes.
Between 3 and 1, it's 2, 6 and 3. It's increasing.
Okay,
6 and
so yeah.
3,
So what option is correct?
15.
Okay, very good. Can you explain this?
So the number is increasing. 2, then 3. Difference between 3 and 6 is 3.
Very good.
Difference between 10 and 6 is 4. So the next will be 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15.
15. Very good. Okay. So you see here there was some other pattern. Here there's some other pattern. It's fun. And once again, if you practice, it becomes much easier and you can figure out what is the relationship, what is a pattern, or in which way is the sequence moving very easily. Okay. So may I move on to the next one? Yes, the correct answer is 15 here. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, once again, don't look at the table working notes. The question is the one in the examination, what will be asked is only what is highlighted here in olive color or like green color. Okay. Once again, a question that we did earlier, which was like that Samita, Kavita, and those names. But this one is a little easier because at the outset, they are telling you that there are 5 teachers. And obviously, as you go through, the names of the teachers are from A to E. So what you see is not what I constructed right in the beginning with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns and 5 rows. No, I didn't create that way at the outset because I don't want to see at the most this question very clearly states in the beginning that there are 5 teachers. Wow. So I can write A, B, C, D. But now don't bother to look at subjects name, Hindi, English. Okay, Hindi, English. Then geography. No, don't bother to, get all the data, make a nice table. No, don't do that. Just go on developing your table, as in, working notes in a very rough way. Okay. Or if there's some other way you want to, express that, it's totally your choice. But I was very comfortable doing this. And just, because I'm making this presentation, so I wanted to have a very neat version, and make the presentation on this. So I said, all right, there are 5 teachers, and yeah, A, B, C, D, obviously. So I wrote A, B, C, D, E. Then as a now, in the school, A and B both are teaching Hindi and English. So you see the names of the subjects that appear as a column heads are also in the order of their occurrence in the question. Okay, so A and B both are teaching Hindi and English. There I go, Hindi, English, A, B. So mark here, mark here. C and B, watch. B is common. B is already been registered for something, but let's see what it is. So introduce another teacher, C. C and B both are teaching English and geography. Well, B has already been marked for English, so do not mark it one more time. Okay, so that is a catch over here. Do not write B again. B is already there, already marked for English also, because you see Hindi and English appears first. C and B both are teaching English. Well, B has already been marked. So let me go ahead and mark English for C. And yes, create one more subject, geography, where both B and C need to get a mark. D and A both are teaching Punjabi and Hindi. Now watch. Again, A is already there, existing. Punjabi, Hindi. Hindi is already been marked for A. I introduce one more subject here, Punjabi. Mark this one. And the new person here is D. D, mark Hindi and Punjabi. Okay, so, there is every possibility that there'll be a duplication, that you will create Hindi here, another Hindi here, because but watch, something that is already been marked, do not mark it one more time, or do not create one more extra column and then say, oh my, what happened. So be very, very what you can say, accurate about this information. D and A both are teaching Punjab. This one we did. E and B both are teaching history and French. Now history and French are the new subjects. And E and B, well, B has already been created teaching other subjects. Mark B for history and French this time, and E only for history and French. He is a new one. I did that. Wow, look at this. Now, who among them? So in a question like this, it's just fine even if don't read this question because in most questions, it's very important to see what are they asking. It's okay, they've given you a lot of data, a lot of information, but let me see what is it that they want. But in questions like these, because they are like, there's too much data and it's coming in a very not in a very sequential manner. So just fill up this whole chart and say, oh, what do you want? Who among the teachers is teaching maximum number of subjects? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there are 6 subjects. Okay, so well 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody is teaching all 6, but B looks like teaching 5 out of 6, which no, the and our options are singular, right? A, B, C are the single persons. Here it is C and E. E definitely is the lowest, so forget this. Anyways gets ruled out. The catch is between A and B and C, but not much, because B is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. So go with the option B, and B is the right answer. Okay. So with so much data and with so much this thing, because you sit on your own and do it, you can get that answer in less than 1 minute. Whereas if you try to just read and reread and reread and put some kind of telemarks, because you see, well, here in this case, even the telemark thing works. But again, see, here it is maximum number of subjects. The question is not, I name the teacher who is teaching English, geography, Punjabi, and history. Okay, it's not specific. They are just interested in total. So one can go with the telemarks thing also, but the question, a similar type of a question that was there earlier. Wait, I'll see where it was. Yes, here it was not about the total. It was specific attributes called brilliant, obedient, regular, and studious. So it is nothing with who has more number of stars or marks or something. Here there is a question is about asking who is brilliant, obedient, regular, and studious. So you can't afford that telemarks approach over here. And therefore, to keep it simple, it won't take much time. Since I'm explaining, it's taking a lot of time. But when you sit on your own and in a rough way, you do it, like you don't even have to write. So HEG PH friend. So Hindi and history have a common letter. So maybe HIN you write, ENG you write, so that's how you will really save a lot of time at every step. Followed? Can I go to the next one? Next one? Okay. There are two questions in here. So first one is mathematics. The smallest integer greater than 1, though, right? Greater than 1. So we know, and 1 is anyway not even the option, which is simultaneously a square. That means which is a square and as well as a cube of another integer. So now these are very small numbers. Maybe, if you're in touch with that school level maths, you will not even take 2 seconds and you'll get there. But if not, and now this is an examination. So even if you're very sure, you still want to be a little extra sure, because you can't afford to not get a right answer for a very simple question like that. And sometimes, a little careless or overconfidence can get you to the wrong answer. So we want that number which looks a square and a cube also. 8 is a cube, but surely not a square, right? 2 to the power 3 is 8, but it's not so forget. 9 is a square, but surely it is not a cube. 36 is a square, but it's not a cube. So it is 64, which is 4 times 4, 4 is 16, 16, 4 is 64, right? And 8 square is 64. So though you can be very sure, but still do that little mental calculation to be sure that there's no, and you know what they want, which is a square and a cube. The smallest integer greater than 1, which is simultaneously a square. Now here, by chance, what has happened is 8 is a cube but not a square. 9 is a square of 3 but not a cube of any number. 36 again is a square of 6 but not a cube of any number. Correct? 36 is not a cube of any number, right? Now it is 64. So now in these options, you'll find that this is the only answer. So forget being the smallest integer. Okay, this is the only number which is simultaneously a cube as well as a square. But what if they give you an option where there is one more such number? So that word smallest integer, so you'll have to go with the one which is smaller in value than the other. Okay. So is 30, tell me if 36 is 36, 6 square is 36, but it's not a cube of any number, correct? 3, 9, 3, 27, 4, 4 is versus, okay, no, it's not a cube of any number, correct? So can I go on to the next question? Okay, now this is, yes, did I get a yes from you all people? Let's see what you've written in chat. Okay, answers. Very good. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you so much, Atula, Sumanjit. Very good. It's really nice to see you all working on these sums while you're attending this session. Okay. Now let's look at this. Consider the following assertion and reason statements, and once again mark the, so you'll find A, B, C, D. These are the options, and let's say now, you know what, though you have been doing the assertion type of questions, sorry, but still read what is there. So this is actually R. Uh, both A and R are true, but no, this one, I'm sorry, this, just by default, it gets typed like that. Okay. So, no assertion statement is no man is perfect, and the reason, which the question says is some men are not perfect. Now, the options are that both are true and R is the sufficient reason for A. True, but R is not the reason for A. Then A is true, R is false, A is false, R is true. Now, first of all, let us determine individual statement if it looks true or false. No man is perfect. Now, this is what, we know that no one is perfect, right? So, it is a true statement. Some men are not perfect. Now, there's no reason I should call it false. Yes, some men are not perfect. Simple. So A and R both are true. So first of all, let us eliminate that option from the given options where one of them or both of them are false. So wherever you come across the word false here, just eliminate. A is true, R is false, eliminate. A is false, R is true, because they both are true. So C and D anyways got eliminated from your correct answer. Now the catch is whether A is true. Now A says yes, they both are true, and but R does not provide sufficient reason for A. In the previous sums of this type, there was a little change in the sequence of words, which almost mean the same, that R is not the correct explanation of A. Okay, so here they have used a different set of words, but we almost, it is asking you for the same thing. Well, no man is perfect. Some men are not perfect. So they both are true in a standalone way. In a very individual way, they are correct. They are true. Okay, there's nothing false about them. But surely some men are not perfect is not the reason that no man is perfect. So A option which says both are true but R does not provide sufficient reason for A, go with that option, because the option B says they are true and R provides sufficient reason for A. So some men are not perfect is not giving you the explanation why no man is perfect. Got it? So we'll go with the option A, which says both A and R are true, but R does not provide sufficient reason for A. So in a question like this, what did we do? We first eliminated, which could be easily eliminated because both these statements are true, and then also see the other, the second layer of the, what you can say, relationship, and derive the right answer. So that's so for today. It's 7 minutes past 2. I know we started a bit late today, and I think that was it for today. So I wanted to discuss few questions from mathematics and logic sections of paper 1. And if you have any queries, you can ask me, or we'll come with the different set of questions from different sections. Paper 1, of course, again, next Saturday.
Ms. Sapna, thank you so much for this session and very well organized, and question answer round also was perfect. And I must request all the students, please share the YouTube link also will be posted on the group, and make sure that you all benefit out of it, and share your YouTube link with your friends and whosoever is wanting to prepare for the sessions. Ms. Sapna, on behalf of Principal Dr. Balani, on behalf of Principal of GHE Khalsa College, I, Dr. Mandeep Kochar, convey humble thanks to you for organizing this session. And please continue your wonderful efforts. And I congratulate once again to the BTTC team. The teachers who are taking the session are all well qualified, net qualified. So students, you can be taking up the questions and you can be taking up this endeavor in further future um, for successful completion of your examination. Wishing you all very good luck. This session is over for today, and see you next Saturday.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity, and wish you all a very blessed Saturday and a blessed weekend. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I request the tech team to please stop